Look, let's have a talk right now.
Let's have
Let me tell you how to fuck well.
Hello, welcome to another Latino with a podcast. I'm the Latino with a podcast, Christian Hennis Mayer, and today I am with Joe Fernández, also known as the best comic that is homecoming and poop. On stage, Masturbation Jenkins. I wanted to start with why,
Why that?
how, why and how did it come out?
Oh, that. Well, I mean, Brandon wanted me to do that for the Gazelles. I haven't done that character except for the first time was last year, and then in like 6 years or something. I mean, it was meant to be making fun of when Bruce Rauner was going up against JB Pritzker for governor, and they both were just rich assholes running. And I was like, I think poop becoming hobo is a better option than these two dudes. So I used to do it at Paper Machete a lot. That show that's at Green Mill on Saturdays. So it was meant to be over the top, and then I did it a lot at Green Mill. And then two women saw clips of it, and that's not the only reason they stopped seeing me, but I feel like it was the predominant reason. I'm like, if this character is actually affecting people wanting to date me, I need to
This
call
is
it quits.
this is something that happened on the last Gazellis. Again, thank you for the Gazellis. You people are amazing. But this is something that happened on the last one, and I believe it was one of the producers. I don't remember which one. I believe it was Brandon Kiefer. It was Brandon Kiefer. Brandon Kiefer was like, we keep asking him to do the character, and every year after the presentation, his looks when he goes off stage is so much disappointment. It's
Oh, you mean like when I
yeah,
get off stage or
yeah,
get
that you're like, was that weird? And Brandon is like, yeah.
No, nothing. It's just
Yeah.
more like, I'm very done with this character and this costume. I can't even believe I still have the costume.
Next
Because when he
year.
asked me last year, he was like, "Were you there last year or no?"
Yeah. I won this 2024.
Oh, gotcha.
2025,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. So I don't know, man.
I
But
I danced to the sun last year.
oh, right. I believe I can fly. Right. I forgot about that. Oh yeah. I was like, dance to a song. I was
I
like,
did
oh yeah.
dance.
Oh God. But uh, I prefer. We'll leave it at the Gazelles. It'll never go anywhere other than that. You know what I mean? Like, never gonna be at like Paper Machete again. Never gonna be at Laugh Factory for sure,
Okay.
unless Curtis somehow really comes up with a good
Because,
bribe proposition, something. It would take a lot of money outside of the Gazelles to do it.
okay, because this go with the topic that one of the topics I think for you, because I believe you have an interesting like life dating life, and but the first topic is not about you,
Uh,
but it touched a little bit. That character you said it, and we were talking about it, but that gets you like to end up dating two women. But my first thought was like, how famous a character or a person have to be before it's not like dating down to date them? Because usually artists,
mm.
I feel in most scenarios, if you're not a known artist, any woman or man or whatever will feel like dating down.
If they're dating an artist, they're dating
Because
down.
yeah, because it's different. It's different saying like, "Oh, I'm dating a comic." Like who? Oh,
Oh, and then it's like,
Marcelo
yes.
Hernandez. And like I dated a comic. Who? Oh, this guy that does open mics. Like,
Yeah, no, it's very different. Yeah.
So what is the threshold? Like what is the line that you gotta cross to
To have it
not be dating down?
not be embarrassing to date a comedian.
Yeah, that they can bring you to their parents like, oh, he's a comedian, and the parents are like, oh.
I think, well, as long as you're doing it, because I remember like the last girl I dated, like because I was doing Laugh Factory and stuff, it gives some credibility if you're doing like a place that they've heard of before, like, oh, they performed there, okay. So it's not like,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, but you beat some careers. You beat like McDonald workers. You beat like, but it's like, oh, I was between him and an engineer. And the parents are like, what the?
Yeah, I know. No, for sure. But that said, I mean, most of the people who do those jobs are very, very boring and not fun. So it's
Yes.
kind of the what do you want out of life? Do you want someone who's interesting but poor, or someone who is a real snooze, is terrible in the sack, but they can provide a stable life for you.
Actually, that's one of their jokes. That is like when they want someone funny, it's like, okay, I want a funny doctor, right?
Yeah.
I skip that part.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah. But now that I'm just older, it's like, well, whatever. I'm not kind of concerned. I mean, dating in the older range now, women are definitely looking for more stability. So I don't know if I even fit into anyone's wheelhouse anymore. So it's not exactly what I'm thinking about anymore. That's why I have a joke about going on field and stuff because my friend said it's like, oh, for people looking to hook up, and it's like, I guess, man, but it's not really. Like that's not been the experience
Yeah,
so far.
you're using whatever it can. This is a question with masturbation, Jenkins, because in Venezuela there's a guy who called Emilio Lovera. He's incredibly funny and
Mm.
he has a lot of characters. And his most famous characters is like a woman who is homeless, and another character that is like extremely gay. And women love him, but because he was famous. How famous do you think
Right.
Masturbation Jenkins have to be for a day to be like proud of
Oh
having
yeah.
this?
Oh, I don't even know what that level would have to be. Good lord, he'd have to have like host the Oscars or something, which would be fun. That would be a fun character to host the Oscars as. But no, yeah. I mean, it's crazy because that character was done only to like make fun of just rich assholes running for office and how it was like especially when Trump was in
Yeah, yeah.
office too. So all this stuff was going on where it's just I was like I don't know. I think like a just this whatever the worst version of a person could be, but so long as they were liberal and like believed in climate change, it's like yeah, he eats his poop and cum, but he also would strengthen our bond with NATO. So it's like it was meant to be always doing these presidential campaigns at the paper machete. That it was like even though he's a necrophiliac, he believes science. He thinks vaccines are real. He just can't afford them, so he eats
yeah,
poop and cum.
his hands are covered in poop and cum, but he said for ice. For ice, so
Yeah, no, he would
guess,
abolish. It is truly the stance of the character.
I guess
He'll
like,
fuck a dead body, but he will also make sure that we restore our constitutional values.
and it's like, wow, okay, well, but for him, but how famous do you think he gotta be for a woman to be like, no, no, I'm dating the guy
I
who
think,
does.
honestly, I think if it's just on TV and I don't know, it would depend. Because I mean, like, you look at what the Impractical Jokers guy do, and
Yeah.
it's like they do crazy shit that you have to imagine, like, oh, what's the show? And if they see them like cussing out a 5-year-old on TV. And it's like, so that's what he does? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think it's like the level of success would have to be. It's like it could be on TV, but then like people also hate that shit too. Like if it's not Jimmy Fallon, some people just
Yeah.
aren't gonna be into anything that's weird or different. Doesn't matter how famous it is. It's like I don't like that.
And what about a regular comedian? Let's say comedian, but I believe they happen the same. It's like, oh, I'm dating a singer. It's like, oh, where's his music in SoundCloud? It's like, a motherfucker.
Yeah.
So I believe that at least for a musician, I believe he have to have one song at least in the radio,
Yeah.
and it kind of a hit to be like, okay, you can.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So
Oh,
what would be for
I
a
would think
comedian?
musician is low. I think like as long as they're just good at it and get gigs occasionally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Musician, I feel like you have a little more leeway than with comic. With comic, it's like, all right, like a music gig is fun in general anyway. Like people, I would say so many people would rather go to a music show than a comedy show. If the no other reason than like you can talk, you can dance, but at a comedy show, it's like you literally have to sit and listen,
Yeah.
and there's no alternative, right? And it's so necessary for comedy to have an actual interaction with the audience where it's like if music sucks, like
I was gonna go with that. Music says and they're like, oh, this I didn't like this song. Maybe the next one.
but if
In comedy, it's like, I don't like this. Just you motherfucker.
yeah, I know. Yeah. No, it's like everything. That's why it's like nothing. I've always said that like nothing shows how much harder comedy is. Like there's a reason why they'll have like someone playing guitar at Potbelly and not doing stand up because it's just all you need is that noise and the person playing it doesn't necessarily need anyone to get into it. But comedy, it's like so hard because you have to keep their attention. You have to make sure they're enjoying it, but you're like all it takes is one thing for them to not enjoy it or be turned off by you and all that stuff. So I don't know. I always think music is it's like physically harder, but then everything else is easier. Like once you are talented enough at it, it's like, yeah, you're never gonna piss anyone off, really, probably.
Yeah, have this happened to you? Because I believe it happened to me a couple of times, especially in this all arts mics. That is like there's a comic, and then there's a musical piece.
Hmm.
And the musical piece can be trash, can be whatever, can be someone with like love, honor, and then at the end everybody's like, ah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. And then you go with your best joke and you bomb. It's like, motherfucker, the guy before
know.
me.
Well, that's the other thing too. There's a couple like cheat codes I always see. Music can be one of them because people are obliged to clap after the song's over. And then the other is the other cheat code is the rant when someone like talks for just a long time, and even if it's not funny, they will clap because they talked really fast for a
Oh
long
yeah,
time. Do you know what I'm talking about?
yeah,
Where
yeah. I have a friend that does that.
Oh.
He does it in a funny way.
Yeah,
From
yeah.
Venezuela, but yeah, it's like a long rant.
Yeah, and it's just like by the end of it, they're like, well, he did talk for a while, so I guess.
He didn't breathe
Yeah.
while he was
I don't know if
talking.
anything he said was funny, but he did yell for quite some time, and I guess I'm more impressed with like his lung capacity. But nothing was funny. But I do feel like because I want to see. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen that where someone does like a rant joke, and they go forever, and the audience still doesn't clap at the end. 'Cause they're like,
I would,
because I think it is just so innate to be like, well, I guess that was impressive.
no, I also believe like if your joke is not good, people don't know if the end of the joke.
If they're in on the joke, yeah.
Yeah, if you're doing a regular joke and it didn't hit, people are still waiting like, oh, there's more. Where's the punchline? But if there's a rant when they're like,
And then yeah, they know
they're
there's
like,
like
oh,
a cue to
oh."
them. To be like, yeah.
There's might be that, but now we're going back. What happened with these two women and masturbation Jenkins?
I love that this is the topic that's.
It's one of the topics. How many? But
Wait, I'm panicking. Okay, so yeah, the first one was this girl who she saw me at Zany's, and we talked after the show. We actually like had one night stand, quote unquote, but only we saw each other again afterwards.
Mhm.
But like, so she'd seen my stand up and knew it was crazy. Then I think a couple days later, she came to a show I had that was like a dog shit show I used to run with a buddy at L&L Tavern, and she enjoyed that. And I'm like, wow, this girl's like cool. She's down for my stand up. And then she came to this dog shit show and still thought it was fun, was able to hang with comics. And then we went on a few more dates and everything was going well. And then we went on a date to Tango Sur. Now, do you know that spot, Tango Sur?
It sounds, but no.
Yeah, it's an Argentinian steakhouse, and it's like super romantic. It's like candlelit, BYOB with the wine, but then the food is like incredible. It's really a great place for a date. Anyhow, not a great place to go on a date and then halfway through have her go.
Not a sponsor, by the way. Just in case we're not a sponsor by
Yeah, yeah.
Tango Sur.
I mean, dude, they don't. I tell you, people wait in line for that. Because I don't even think they take reservations unless it's a group of 6 or more. So they'll have like 2-hour waits for it. It's crazy. Yeah.
You got this for her.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was halfway. I think it was before dinner had arrived, or maybe we were kind of in the middle of dinner. She's like, I do have a question though. What's this masturbation guy? Because you forget your stuff's online, right? Like I mean, not that. Like I know I post stuff on Instagram, but you just don't think about it.
Yeah.
Who's looking at it, or that she was following me or whatever. I don't know. I just wasn't thinking about it really, and I got so embarrassed. It was the first time ever I'd like given a fuck about what someone thought of my comedy, where it was or like on a really like getting embarrassed about my comedy. I went, oh my god. She's like, what? And I'm like, I don't know how to explain it. And she's like, well, just like what's the deal? And I'm like, I truly do not know how to explain this to you. And it was like this awkward, like probably 3 minutes of her.
The guy with the with the
Yeah, there was a guy like, so is this Merlot good? Yeah. So anyhow, like we did, and then I did go back to her place that night, but it was shortly after. I think I was like, we were kind of talking, and it just felt like everything drifted apart after that night when she asked about that character. I don't know. I mean, maybe that wasn't the reason, but it was truly like everything was going fine.
and then
And then it was like, all right, these texts have been dropping off ever since that character's name came out of her mouth. And I did not, because that's the thing. Whenever I've told people that story, I'm like, you can't be at a nice dinner being like, oh, it's a character I do, eats his poop and cum, and runs for president of the United States all the time. When I told that to Zach Albers, he was like, "Oh, that girl was like, oh, I'm about to get tied down, raped, and murdered." I didn't realize.
That's a nice impression of Zach
Yeah,
Albert.
no, is that well? That's a. I mean, he has a pretty imitatable voice, I think. Yeah.
I believe at some point I did it, but I won't try it right now. Like, I, I, I will do it at some point. I want to do a joke. It's like many because I'm good at getting the tone and the voice of people and what they will say. But it's like every interpretation I do, every well, performance. No, what is the name? Like whatever. Everything that I do, it have to be like, okay, this is Zach Alberts if he was Venezuelan, because
So
everything
you can
comes
get
with
the
an
pitch and the
accent.
tone. It's just gonna have an
Yeah,
accent to it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
This is whatever
Can
character.
you do Venezuelan Zach Albers? Can I hear? What is a
I,
Venezuelan?
I have to listen like because like I have him in my mind because I have him on the podcast. Dude, he was so funny, and he was like he talks so slow,
Yeah, yeah.
and that, I believe that like I used to imitate Aaron Klein and Zach Albert have like the same like oh I saw him once. He
Oh
was
yeah, they do have deep voices that
yeah,
then
he
yeah.
was in a scooter. It's like man, I just went on my scooter and I'm not built up for this anymore. But it's like him accent. Like, I went into the Laugh Factory. Man, I don't want to work more. Like, okay, why not? Like, I have him, and one of the topics was that he was a white guy that failed at having white privilege.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like because I know him doing landscaping, and then he's a cook at Life Factory. I'm like, dude, you are white.
Yeah.
You don't have to do this.
I'm trying to, yeah, no, and then I mean he does work also at that bar on Montrose. I visit him a lot when I'm on mushrooms or acid because I'll go to the beach and do mushrooms or acid, and then swing by where he works and stuff to say hey. It's like it's Zach Albers is a treat whether you're on mushrooms or not, but especially on
So
mushrooms,
funny.
it's a soothing voice to go through your
Yeah,
tripped out
yeah.
brain. Like it's
Okay, we're gonna make a pause. Thinking of Zach Alders, but we're gonna make a pause. We're gonna come back immediately. We are back. We try to imitate more of Zach Alders. He came out as black. Because he's
yeah. I just realized how offensive it was. People didn't know.
But no,
Anyone who doesn't know, they're like, "Are they doing a black voice?" No, we're doing Zach Albers. Yeah.
Who is? Yeah. No, like coming with the same like also like I will ask, but this is something we share. The experience of dating a married woman.
You've dated one?
Yeah.
Oh, see, no, I only was a.
I caused a divorce.
Oh, hey, that's sick.
No, and I believe I said it before. She was the sister-in-law of the only friend I have in Chicago at that moment.
Oh, damn, dude.
It was not good. It went down really
I
bad.
mean, at least it's not like a child bride. That would have been even worse.
Yeah.
If you were hooking up with a 12-year-old who was
bad.
married, yeah, that'd have been way worse. So that mean, did you lose that friend? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
I'm still friends with her, with the woman.
Sister-in-law. Yeah. Okay.
With the married woman. Well, she's not married anymore. Actually, she divorced and then remarried, and she now has a baby. But we have a nice relationship. But
Also,
friend, never talk anymore.
yeah. I mean, wait. So your friend's sister-in-law. So your friend's brothers who
Is
was.
their husband.
I see. Yeah. I mean, look, I do get that on. Yeah, I get that. But that said, it is cool that y'all are still friends. That's the other thing too. The marriage
Yeah.
couldn't have been great. No one's going to be seeking that out if they're really satisfied in there.
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of like, whatever, man.
I feel like was like a catalyzer on their relationship ending. Like I didn't end it. I
No,
just,
right.
speed the process of this ending.
Yeah. And you got
A
laid
lot.
up top. right?
Yeah, I speed the process of the divorce a lot, like for 20 years.
How long were they married for?
I believe they were married for like 2, 3, but they were together since 2008. So they've been like together for like 12 years. at
Oh,
least.
damn. Okay. But
Sorry, not sorry.
yeah. And hey, you know what? Maybe if that husband was better at sex, he wouldn't have gotten beat. That's also my philosophy. Be better at sex. Your wife won't cheat.
No, I will say something. There's something I read, and I believe it's true because many people have told me the same. when a woman has one guy that is really, really, really good at sex, she can be in love and marry with someone else, but from time to time she will be like, "Oh, remember that dude."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like it doesn't matter. That's why they say that body count counts on women. It's not for me. It's not exactly that you slept with 100 guys. Like I don't care. The things like the possibility of one of those guys being better than me in sex is higher than if you slept with
See, it's kind of
three.
it's funny that like I always have found it attractive because that was the other thing. The girl I was bringing up, and even like the women I've dated, whatever. I always found it more attractive if they've slept with more people because it
They
means
have more
they're
experience.
less inhibited
Yeah.
sexually and stuff like that. They don't see it as a social stigma. Like, ooh, it's like if they were like, yeah, I slept with 30 dudes, 60, whatever. I don't care. It actually is like an attraction. I find it.
1,000 in a day. I was like, okay, Bonnie Blue, cool.
But
Yeah.
I mean, it's like truly like it just makes me feel like okay, so they're not like kind of thinking
Yeah.
that sex is something that is they're not like the stigma being like oh she's a slut or a whore. They're like no, I like fucking
Yeah,
and and then as a result I'm like good, okay, that
Yeah,
is what
I
I
do not
prefer.
care about that
Yeah,
today, the person. But if you want a serious relationship, the possibility of then having someone else
who
that fuck with her that was
I
is better than
guess,
you
but you should at
is
least
higher.
be competent then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
Decent.
I mean, it's I truly if I want like I don't know
You asked, you have a serious question, like, hey, I just gotta get this out of the way. Have you have anybody that's better than me? And if she's like have a lot of bodyguards, like yeah, just Joe, Jonathan, Chris, Nathan, Blake, Jarrell.
but see and then that's the thing because if you're having to ask that question, are you good at sex? Because you should I don't know have figured out. Look, let's have a talk right now.
Let's
Figure out. Let me tell you how to fuck well.
Cut to is we fucking.
Yeah, yeah. This is gonna be a great clip. It's just us having sex and me pretending.
I was like, this is how you.
My sex ed class is just me having sex with you. Like teachers are like, we should not hire him for the job. Why? Well, his strategy was having sex with someone to teach them, and this is a high school, so
This is sexual education for sophomores. I don't know if this is okay.
why did he apply? And was that his pitch? He's like, no, I'll fuck the students and show them what's right.
You know the cucumber and the and the condom.
I'll just use it on my own. A
Yeah.
banana's unnecessary.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a hard dick
You know
right
that
now.
You know,
So
you know the prices of produce. Like I
yeah,
cannot.
if anything, I'll eat the banana while doing that to show them you just need one hand. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd make a good sex ed teacher now that I just said all that stuff out loud, and I meant every word of it.
Yeah.
You know.
Higher. We take it like a.
Look, I'm looking for work specifically. God, no, I can't keep going down that road.
And then
Not that I'm ever gonna have a job I care about enough to.
and then you're there, and your students like
I have a question. I'm like,
masturbation Jenkins. What is that about? And you're like, fuck.
I'll go. That's something for another time, kids. That's a college course.
But yeah, you gotta be good at
Well, that's why I always. I mean, I don't know. I was talking with a friend, and I've always heard varying types of this number, but it's somewhere around like 50% of people cheat. So it's like we. No one's saying it's good, but it's honestly like way harder to have a stable relationship where there's not some kind of infidelity that there's not, because every relationship will get stagnant at some point, and then it's a matter of probably willpower. I mean, it could be as much as situational. I don't know. I never really fault anyone for that kind of shit. 'Cause it's like, yeah,
yeah, because you
Every-
fuck the people that are in this moment. Like, I've never been there, yeah, because you are the person they
you-
go to
Yeah,
when
that's-
they're in this
yeah.
situation.
that's why my phone number is on several gas station bathrooms for a good time called Masturbation Jenkins.
No, and in several phones like a mechanic.
Yeah, right.
Joe Mechanic.
But that's why it's like, dude. So not that I watch it really unless I'm in a relationship, but like reality TV.
You're safe as Jose Hernandez. Just to hide. He's Mexican.
No, they probably put my name in their phone as like Abigail or something. Like, no, it's just my friend.
Settings.
Yeah, yeah. But when I watch reality TV and it's like all these people are like cheating on each other, it's like, yeah, I mean, if it weren't for cameras, the other person probably wouldn't know and all this shit. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, I don't know. I think people like to make things more black and white, good and
Yeah.
evil. That's why so many people are doing polyamory though, and all this other shit, because they're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is not that easy to do this monogamy thing.
I like the one that Ariana Grande did with the black woman from Wicked.
What was this? Wait, what did she do?
Did they say they were in a like the name is even doesn't make sense, like semi poly like relationship where they were attracted to each other but not together, but they're together. I was like, what? This is
Wait, in Wicked?
no, that like not in the movie, in real life.
Oh, in real life. Okay,
Like
I
kind
was
of
like, what?
they're like in a relationship. They were like in a relationship but not. So they're not lesbian, but they're a couple that is not. And everybody was like, what?
Yeah, yeah, I'm very confused on that. I
But
thought you were talking about the characters in Wicked, and I was like, what the hell? Is that what the new?
I
I
didn't
haven't
see
seen,
them.
yeah, I haven't seen. I don't think I've seen
Maybe.
either. Actually, yeah.
I felt there was something weird about the movie, so I don't want to watch it. You know, they did like your I don't know if your parents or you were at that age when at some point Pokemon or Digimon like parents were like, that's from the devil.
That Pokemon was from the devil.
That happened in Venezuela. In every Catholic school, they banned Pokemon because, and they started saying like, no, like Pikachu, that actually means the devil. I was like, that's not true. That you just like, what? But I feel like that with that movie, like there's something weird about.
Why do they think it's the devil, or why did they?
They say Kamehameha was like an invocation. That's in Dragon Ball Z, like an invocation, a satanic rite. I was like, it's just Japanese. Like,
Yeah, no, it's just Japanese.
It's
Yeah.
really
I think they
racist.
don't. And then it was like someone was like, "Hey, there's this country like right here. on the map. It's pretty far from us, so I get why you haven't heard of it, but it is real." And they
Yeah.
just made these cartoon characters.
Yeah, they're like, no, this is the devil. I'm like, okay, whatever. But going on the side, like I heard this. Someone said, and I'll missing like I'll paraphrase it, but in life, oh, I know it was Chris Andrade in the podcast Escuela, and he was like, you gotta be the guy who is trying to charm the girl. You gotta be the boyfriend, and you gotta be the side piece to understand the full spectrum of how women behave. And when he said that, he said because you can see how they treat the guy that they don't like, but is really trying. You can see how they treat the guy who they're with, and you can see how like they cannot don't care, like they can don't care at all, or how they can lie, like straight face.
Wait, whose
The guy they're
theory
with.
is this?
Guy is he's a comedian. He's like famous in Venezuela. It's called Chris Andrade.
Okay.
And when I was the side piece, I believe I really saw that clear because the way she was lying to him, it was bananas. Like she was like with me, and he was like, "Where the fuck are you?" And she was like, "I came to the store. You are being so dramatic right now. I cannot believe you cannot
But I think-
trust me." And I was like, "They're like,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
me naked, like done."
but I think that's anyone who's cheating is probably like denying it on such a hardcore level. Because
Yeah,
what
but
option
when
do
you
they
see
have?
that, when you see that,
It is
you
weird
see
though.
the
Yes,
side
for
piece,
sure. Yeah.
you are like, what if any relationship I was, I just called my girlfriend and she was like, "You're fucking dramatic. You cannot trust me," and she hung up.
But-
And you're like, "Oh,
Then on the flip side of it, it's like, see, I would never. I mean, and if I have been cheated on, whatever, it's not like it matters now because I'm not with these people. But like, I would never call someone up anyway, being like, "Where the fuck are you?" Because I wouldn't. No wonder they're cheating on you then if you're like yelling at them, "Where the fuck are they?" That's
yeah.
not.
But
yeah,
didn't you see any of those behaviors that you were like, oh, she lied to him like really hard.
No, I mean, I don't think because with the woman, I mean, again, it was like we didn't actually hook up, but we nearly hooked up, and for all I know, I mean, yeah, she probably did just never reveal the text messages we exchanged about possibly hooking up and meeting up and like whatever she wants it, that's her secret because they always say the reason people reveal they cheat is because it's like a selfish move basically. It's like to alleviate guilt on yourself, but it does nothing for the other person really to be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, I cheated on you." And really the reason someone's doing that is to end the relationship but giving the other person the reason to.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't know, that's why I always felt is that like the reason people cheat is like, okay, I don't know how to break up with this person. They really love me. You know what I'll do is I'll do something that makes them want out of the relationship too. I feel like that's what cheating is about at the end of the day. When you do reveal it. Now, some people may do it literally like, oh, fuck, I
If you
really.
stop cooking, that will do. They're like, no, I'm gonna fucking know that guy.
Yeah. But I mean, on both sides, though. Like, I think men or women will do it to, like, as a way of, like, okay, well, this at least gives me an out. But then I do think if you're someone who really did fuck up and is like, okay, I just got weak at a certain point, our marriage
Yeah.
was at a rough time or whatever, I'm just going to keep this to myself and live with the guilt. That's someone who
I
is
cannot.
still in the like they actually do love the other person and just because it's very hard to be in a situation where you could have this one-time thing and in the moment I'm sure you're like just going with it and then you feel guilty the next day and it's like, well, do I want to throw away my husband and child?
Especially
Or
the
like
child.
wife and child, whoever's the one doing it.
Wife, no, the child. Mm.
But I just feel like, yeah, I feel like cheating a lot of the time. Sometimes it is strictly just a fuck. I've kind of been a little bored with life, and I
Okay.
did this thing. I don't want to throw away everything, but I do think a lot of times people do it as a way of like, okay, I'll do this thing, and it gives the other person a reason to want out of the
Okay.
relationship too. And if I tell them, that's a thing. If it's from that perspective, it just feels very selfish
For me,
to.
I have like kissed other people while I was in a relationship, but I count that as like like being unfaithful. And
Like, even though you didn't go through with it,
yeah,
because you
even
flirted in a certain way
yeah,
that was like,
but
yeah,
but when that happens, my mind goes like, okay, me doing this means that I really don't care about this other person. So I cannot continue a relationship. I always like end the relationship, and I'm trying to get better at if I feel like I'm flirting or like trying to get something outside of the relationship, instead of like doing that or getting to doing something, I really try to like, okay, let's or either fix the relationship or end it before committing to something else.
yeah, yeah.
And I believe that's the difficult part. Like some people, like humans, like really like they're fucking. I was like, I believe I don't like my boyfriend anymore. I was like,
Well, and that's what I mean too. Probably like that's the other thing is like the sex gets repetitive and boring, and it's just something different, you know.
also,
So that's another thing that I'm sure is like a reason.
but I cannot follow like keep going with the relationship. I have to stop it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I've been the side piece a couple of times. I'm not proud, but I've been the side piece a couple of times, and every time they keep the relationship like nothing happened. And I was
Mm.
like, how do you do
I do find that odd because that's where it's like, carrying on while having another relationship in and of itself. That sounds stressful. Like,
Also,
you know what I mean? You're now juggling two schedules of people, like all that shit. Just like, how the
yeah.
fuck? I can't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you can have. Because I do agree with you too. That would be so weird. Is to be on the phone being like, you don't. Why you get? You're being crazy, and they're being completely correct.
Yeah.
You know. Which is funny though, because you were talking about the teasing thing, and like, I will say, the last girl I dated, I never had a problem because like guys would come up to her at bars and stuff, and it never bothered me. But because I just didn't think she would do it, so I don't know. It never like got on my nerves, and I never even thought anything of it if she went out with her friends and all that shit. You know?
Also, like I'll say this for people who are jealous. Nothing you try to do will stop the person to be unfaithful if they want to be unfaithful.
Right. And on top of which, you treating them like they're cheating when they're not is gonna make them do it. Then, if I'm already gonna get accused of it, you're gonna be suspicious of me.
I'll just
Then,
do
then
it.
I might as well. Well, it's like if I'm already guilty of it, then why face the punishment? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I've always felt. Yeah, I feel like anyone who's jealous in a relationship is probably the one doing something on the side because it's like they're paranoid because they're doing
Ha-
something, and now they're like, well, when I tell him I'm doing this, or when I tell her I'm doing
What is
this,
he doing?
that's what I mean when I say it. So do they mean that? You know,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah,
That's why I don't understand how you can keep another relationship, because it's like you you know what you were doing.
yeah.
And then you have to like keep a lie,
Mm.
and then you gotta think back on your life, because if they actually like, oh, remember when you told me you were to the grocery? I was like, when? I was like, what do you mean when? You told me. I was
Mm.
like, oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
grocery. Ooh, yeah.
No, that's yeah. That I mean, yeah. It's
Nah,
just
it's too much work.
no, for sure. That's the other, yeah. I mean, that's why I'm just like, better off being single because it's like now there's no obligation to anyone. It's just like easier and freer flowing. And some people like relationships are comfort to them, but to me, I feel very confined in them.
Do you
So
think?
like it's just like I just like having the freedom to do what I want when I want, kind of thing. And there's no repercussions on someone being like, well, why were you out late?
Alright.
And like, you know, I mean, definitely that has been a problem in relationships too because I do comedy.
Yeah.
Like Sunday nights, I always loved being out late. I mean, after shows, all that shit, you
Yeah.
know. So that leads to problems, obviously.
Like, why are you on mushrooms? And
I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean,
no, because suck Albert.
well, that's the thing. Like, I always, yeah, I mean, going to the beach and doing shrooms while they have if they have a day job, that causes resentment too. You know what I mean? Like, there's just stuff that like I feel like, especially now being a comic, it's like I don't know what job a woman would have to have, but I don't think I could ever date a 9 to 5er again because it's like it just doesn't work.
She's like, I'm free. What are you doing? It's like, I'm
I'm
right
literally
now.
going to a show
Yeah.
while they're getting home from work.
Yeah.
So like I did date a girl who was like a server, bartender, and that did work kind of, but then
Okay,
also
yeah,
our
I can
nights
see
are
it.
both never free. So there's never really a date night on top of it, and then you start to just have like we would meet out after both of our respective things and drink, but then we're both drinking all the time, and it's
Yeah.
like that's not good. Now we're spending all day like laying around before going and doing it, getting drunk again. Like so that didn't work either. I don't know. So I guess what I'm saying is that's why I'm single. That's what makes
All of
sense for
these
me.
was to
Yeah.
know. Okay, I believe these last two questions you can like connect it if you want. One is if you think like there's gonna be one person that's gonna get you out of that mind of like, "Ah, I'm good being single," or you're like, no, I'm really enjoying this phase of my life. And the second is that I forgot about it because I was so focused on this one. But no, it was this one, and the second one was like if you have had that like kind of if you have been the person cheating,
Wait.
the person being unfaithful, because you have been on the side of like I
Oh
married
yeah, because I
someone.
feel no guilt being the other guy. Wait, unless like if I knew the other person, then I would feel guilt because if it was like a friend or something, that would be weird. But
And have
if it's
you been the one being unfaithful?
no, not yeah, not like having a relationship on the side with
Okay.
that's truly crazy. I mean, having a full blown relationship on the side is like I just can't even imagine. Like, I mean, I was already having a hard enough time, and I still have a hard enough time managing my own personal schedule, much less than trying to have it sync up with a partner. So I can't even imagine how it would work. I mean, like, how did it work with when you were seeing that woman? Was it like, were you
From time to time, like
it's like during the day or something?
during the day, whenever she was like, "Oh, I have time."
Damn.
She stayed with me a couple of times. I don't even know what she did.
Yeah. What do you say in that
I believe
situation? Yeah.
she said she was staying with a friend because they were like, "Oh, I'll stay with this friend," and she make her friends like also like confirm the story. Dude, it was a whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like too much, but it's funny that you're like, oh, I cannot juggle with like two relationships. So I would love to have like, okay, let's talk to an expert, and it's like these guys from the '80s. That is like, I have 3 families, and it's like, how did you do
Dude,
that?
I don't understand. Yeah. I have a buddy who had a dad who did that, had 2 separate families.
How?
I don't know. It makes no sense.
You have too much time in your hand.
You have to be rich for sure. That's the only. I don't know.
That's the thing. Like in that era, they were like, no, I'm a mechanic. I was like, how you're supporting 2 families?
Yeah. Because his dad was like kind of a rich business guy, and so he'd go on business trips.
Yes.
So then that makes sense, kind of. But then it's like, doesn't this stress you out? Like,
Yeah.
that's
Being
crazy.
with one wife and you have a message from your other kid from the other wife being like, "Where are you gonna be home, Dad?" And I'm out. This is the other one.
Yeah.
I cannot no. And the last question is like, if you think someone can go into your life and change that, or you're like, I'm good.
Well, after the last, not the most recent, but the one before that, it was like a 4.5 year one. And after that, I was like, I'm not doing relationships anymore. It just doesn't work for me. And then I started to meet women like the one that it then ended after Masturbation Jenkins. There was another one too, a couple who I was really into, and it didn't work out. And then the last girl I dated, we were connecting so well that I was like, okay, maybe it's time. Because I also was like sleeping around a lot before that, so
Okay.
it was like you know what? Okay, I think I'm like now ready, and I'm realizing it's just like, oh, it just doesn't work as a structure for me.
Okay.
Because I mean, you do have to be pretty unselfish to be in a relationship, and
Yeah.
I feel like there were a lot of times where I was just like especially also like I felt like I wasn't seeing my friends as much too,
Okay.
and that was frustrating. Like, and even just like the and I mean, it's not an unfair compromise, but it was like, can you just be home by 2 rather than being out till 4 with your buddies at Durno's or whatever?
Yeah.
And
It's a
that's like not
compromise.
even that's not even an unfair thing, but it's just the fact that it felt like there was some kind of constraint
That
is
you have to
enough to make me,
compromise.
yeah, it just is enough to make me be like, oh, I don't like that,
Okay.
you know? So that's why I'm like, I don't know, or I'd have to date someone who's like super chill. Like, I wouldn't even mind if, let's say I met someone and I really was like, okay, now I'm ready for marriage, but I'd be chill if it was like, but we don't live in the same house. I don't even give a fuck about that.
Okay.
Like, I just don't need that kind of like,
Life, like build life together.
well, I mean, even like, well, growing up, it's like my dad has said shit like, because he had to work a lot, and he was like, I feel bad because I wasn't at like all of your little league games. I'm like, well, it didn't bother me, and I don't mean that in a way like I love my dad more than anything, but like it didn't bother me. I was just having fun playing ball, and it didn't like, I didn't think he didn't love me because of that. I just was like, yeah, that's all right, man.
I
You
would love
couldn't.
to have a flashback like your life with your dad there, and your dad is just yelling at you, like "fucking hit the boat, you fucking."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He is Cuban, so
I was like,
um,
I'm actually really glad you were not.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It worked out. No, that's the thing. I've just never needed that kind of like.
Structure in your life.
Or like even that kind of closeness that a lot of other people like whenever I hear people talk about how they have like hour-long phone calls with friends or family, I'm like, God, that fucking I hate a phone call.
I Yeah, I sacrifice. I compromise that with my mom. Like
Yeah.
I do not love long phone calls, but
Mm.
with her I do it because it's my mom.
Because they want, I know, and I still have to remind myself to do that with my folks. Is
Yeah.
like, I know it means something to them,
Yeah.
so I'm pretty bad about that. Because like, yeah, I mean, I probably talk to them on the phone once a month, something like that. But I try and visit
Yeah.
more. That's the thing. I love face to face, but phone call, I'm like, what are we doing here? Especially if it's like a phone call of like, so how was your day? And it's like, dude,
And it would imagine like extra layer in Venezuela. Sometimes like the internet falls down, and you have to repeat yourself.
oh God,
Terrible.
yeah, that sounds like a
Well,
nightmare.
sorry, what did you say? I was like, wow.
Which that extends the phone call
Yeah.
hardcore, I'm sure.
But with that, we're gonna end. But we're gonna go to the bonus content, and that's it. That's the episode. This is such a good episode. Adios. You gotta say adios.
Adios, hasta luego.